The prices of goods and services in Nigeria are reaching a record high, with many beaming a searchlight on the economy and thinking about how to bring down inflation. This is as Nigeria recently celebrated 25 years of democracy, and Alesta, Wilcox and I had a conversation about this. I am Olaoluwa Awe, the news lady, and Alesta Wilcox is a public affairs analyst and the former chairman of Lagos ICANN and District Society. Join us.
Now today, the government seems to have taken the back seat and allow the so-called market forces, which is not forcing anything, to control the market. And so there is the need to rejig it, to bring in some more fiscal measures. Today, state governments are just aloof. Before now, state government have institutions, companies. They are into business. But we'll keep hearing it is not the business of government to do business. No. In an economy like Nigeria, it is the business of government to do business and to do it well. Before now, state government have corporations, have companies, have businesses, transport hubs, transport companies. In fact, as a matter of fact, they had manufacturing consents. I know what we had in River State in those days. We had Revoke, we have Nigeria Engineering Works that does selling fan. So many. What didn't we have as government companies in River State in those days?
Thank you.
Government must come back, especially Olaoluwa, in the area of agriculture. Government must come in directly. State government must establish farm settlements, so that food production can increase. We are having that shortage of food production, and that is why we are seeing what we are seeing today. So there is no point in saying it is market forces, it is the people, it is policy. No, you must come in directly at this point in order to salvage the situation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alesta Wilcox. Let's take another message before we go on. Okay, Daily Ayorinde sends a message via WhatsApp. It says, it is rather inappropriate to allude to comparisons between economies of US, UK, and Nigeria. Just a proportion of the population on food stamps, not majority as the guest stated. However, these two countries realize the need to take care of the struggling masses by introduction of food stamps and bi-weekly welfare, as is the case in the UK. But what has Nigeria done in this respect to alleviate the problem? Do we have food stamps? Do we have public welfare packages? The government must make it its responsibility to support welfareists than it is right now, especially as the economy is biting hard on the people of low means. Once again, that is from Daily Ayorinde.
I'm happy. Daily is my good friend from Cornerstone Insurance. Thank God he's listening. And we will always have an agreement on this issue. Let me just laugh at this and say that, well, the government gives palliative, which I don't believe in. I mean, government has been giving palliative. So if you say people are on food stamp, at least they're on food stamp. There are people who are poor. There are people homeless in America. So if the government of Nigeria is giving palliative, I don't believe in it, Olaoluwa. I don't believe in that rubbish called palliative. But the government is giving palliative. You see, then they give indomie, they give rice, they share everything at people. So it sounds like food stamp, which Daily is talking about. But on a very serious note, I'm not comparing the two economies. But what I'm just trying to draw is the fact that people are unhappy everywhere, and that is why you see that people complain. And in America they complain, UK they complain. So it's not out of place that they complain in Nigeria. So the complaint will never end. We've been complaining since 1960. I complained when I was as a boy in school. Everybody complained. When I was in university, I complained. So we've been complaining. It's not today, but again, we must also know that government have a responsibility as to bring about some measure of stability for the people.
All right, thank you. Hello.
Dele, thank you for listening.
All right, thank you, Daily, for listening as well. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning.
Welcome,
Paul.
I don't know. I can tell you that democracy, since you have been practicing democracy, we have achieved a lot. I was just interested when people say, "No, we are arrested." Are you supposed to arrest me that processing for my right? Is it because Nigeria, we are just as the type of process government understand? At least without that type of process, they will do something. responsibly, they will respond rapidly. But yeah, like what you said, we are complaining. It's not the right thing to continue to complain. You know, so the complaint will create the complaint. What will people complain? Government, like, you see anything get away with it, go for the years, president to go, telling me what I want, telling me, you know, I want. Is that not ridiculous?
Thank you, Paul.
Whereas he does, that's right. He's sitting well, impressed with the task. So the system, maybe, governors are law, you can talk to government anyhow. You can get as governor, how much are we, the giving as a governor, this removal of subsidies, I don't know whether the subsidy will remove.
Thank you.
There is a full period. Then the governor, you have problem.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much, Paul. Let's give some time.
Let me just tell Paul, Olaoluwa, let me just tell Paul that, and I said it clearly, you don't, you are right, stop when my own starts. You don't protest and be destructive. Now, in America, just recently, there were protests in the universities. All the universities were occupied. They are allowed to protest, but when they got to a point, the MPD, the New York Police Department and other NYPD and others has to go in to forcefully remove the protesters. So you cannot protest in perpetuity in any states. You are allowed to protest. Yes, in America you protest. Everywhere you protest. Even in big democracy you protest, but it must not be destructive. So when your protest has gone beyond the level of protest, civil protest to destruct. I mean, look at what happened in American universities just recently, not just too long. And if you're talking about good life, look, the ANC just lost majority in South Africa. They started their own 1994, and the people of South Africa are saying they're not better off under the ANC than when they were under apartheid. So life is like that. I'm just saying it. Now this is South Africa. Nigerians are running to and thinking that's the El Dorado. Nigerians are running to South Africa and making money in South Africa. They saw opportunities. They make money. People are running to Nigerians, into Nigeria. The Chinese, they are running to Nigeria to make money, and they make money. If they are not making money, they will not come. Nigerians are running in South Africa to make money, and they are making money. And South Africans are complaining that they are not seeing the dividends of democracy. So it is like that in life. You can't satisfy everybody. What you will do in any economy, look for the opportunities and make your own money. Government will not share money to, it doesn't happen anywhere. Government will not share money to you. Government will not go and tell the person selling a gari, you must sell it for 2 naira, or you must sell it for 50 naira. Government will not do that. But like we said, government must have some ingenuous way to intervene and bring some stability. South Africans today, they are complaining. Meanwhile, Nigerians are going there to make money. And I just said something. How many Nigerians are in the stock market? The stock market is making money in Nigeria. How many Nigerians are there? But your own is to sit down and complain. If you keep complaining, we've been complaining since Shagari time. We are complaining. Is it we will start complaining? We must complain. But your own is complain, look for the opportunities and make money. That is just it.
Now, as we wrap this up, I know you wanted to say something about the back and forth between the labor unions and the federal government on minimum wage.
Let's talk about the minimum wage. Sincerely, labor is becoming very unproductive in terms of their reasoning. Minimum wage, like I said, and I've said everywhere, is not just federal government minimum wage. It is minimum wage for the country. So any minimum wage passed, your organization will have to implement it. And the question I asked, and I keep asking, can your organization, I don't know the name, pay the cleaner 250,000 naira per month? Are they making enough money to do that? So if a cleaner will be paid 250,000 naira as proposed by labor, in your I'm talking of your organization now. If a cleaner should be paid 250,000 naira as proposed by labor, how much will you earn? So what is the revenue profile of the organization? How will they get the money? Of course, they will increase advert, because you only get your money through advert and other promotion. So you increase your advert cost by ×3. And then if you're in a rented building, the landlord will increase the rent ×4. And then the fuel you will buy will increase by ×6. And then the diesel you use will increase by ×8. So where do we end up?
So for you, how much do you think?
I'm coming. Minimum wage is part of economic stabilization.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, let's even take the government alone. Some states are still not paying the 30,000. Local governments cannot, because most local governments are overbloated with workers. You see, local government, they use them as a kind of family support arm of the government. So you just employ people, employ. So local government has up to 3,000 staff, 2,000 staff. I'm sure the least local government will have like 1,500 staff doing absolute nothing. So are you going to use the whole allocation to local government to pay workers salary because you want to put money in their hands? And so if labor can the labor leader pay his driver 250,000 naira per month? Today, why is the strike not holding? They are all in Geneva. You see the hypocrisy of our people. Now, there is a negotiation on ground. We've not concluded, you've not rounded it up. Because you have to attend the ILO conference in Geneva. You pen that one, and then all of you run to Geneva. 289 Nigerian labor related delegates are in Geneva, the highest delegation in that conference. So you can see the hypocrisy. You abandon what you are doing, and you have to go and enjoy yourself in Geneva and come back. Then when you come back, you now start, let's go on strike. Hypocrisy cannot help us in this country. For me, the stabilization thing the government is doing is what I support. 60,000 from 30,000 as minimum. Minimum wage is the least. It's called minimum. That is the least a worker should earn, either in public or private sector. And who is on the minimum is a level 1 person. Maybe somebody that left primary school that cannot do secondary school, and then he gets a job as a cleaner, a laborer. Then that's what he should earn. But somebody that even left secondary school is on level 4 in the government. He cannot earn that minimum. He earns something above. A graduate will not earn that. He will earn something a bit above. A director will earn something high. So it graduates up. So that is like the minimum. And you cannot be saying because a bag of rice is whatever. Therefore, that is the benchmark to go and overbloat the economy and then create more what do you call it, more inflation. So by the time you give workers 250, say the minimum is 250, your company wants to implement it and they don't have money, what would they do? They would retrench everybody and keep maybe 3 or 4 that they can afford to pay. And then that will not end the problem. The landlord will tell you there's minimum wage if you are working or you are not working, and so he will increase his rent. Of course, the fuel attendant will have to increase their rent, have to increase the cost to make more money to pay their. So it's a ripple effect. So you don't overbloat it. You need to go gradually. There is never a time, money will be enough for anybody.
Are you of the opinion that the labor union should agree with the 62,000 naira?
Labor union is just it's unnecessarily inciting to Nigerians. I don't even believe in what they're saying. I don't even know the concept of their negotiation. So first started from 640,000 to a level 1 person. I'm not talking of the highest paid. We're talking about the least. You started about 600 and something. You came to 490. Is there a sensible negotiation? So I'm just using your organization now.
Oh, so
where will the money come from?
How much do you think we should work with right now? 60,000 naira or
60,000 is more than it's adequate for now in terms of minimum wage. Remember, some states are even talking about 70. Like Edo State says 70, they can pay 70. Rivers State say they can pay 80. Oyo State, Lagos State is talking about 75. So you see, when you put the minimum at 60, people can improve on it. That is the minimum. That's not what you are supposed. That is the minimum. Let's make that point clear. Minimum.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alex.
So companies cannot improve. Your company cannot improve and pay 100 other people. But let's put the minimum at a level that everybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry, the POS person, the full attendants can afford to pay. And then where there is more money, they can add for their workers based on internal negotiations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alesta Wilcox, for your contribution.
Thank you very much.
Well, a good number of the messages we have on WhatsApp.
They will not agree. They will not agree
with you.
I know. They will not agree because people don't like to hear the truth.
Larry says I completely disagree with Alexa.
I know. I expect it.
Citizens should not protest in perpetuity. If the government does the right thing, not always, but most of the time, people will not protest. whoever does, the government is at liberty to deal with such person. And yes, but we have to go. Thank you all for your contributions today. Thank you very much to my distinguished guest in the person of Mr. Alexa Wilcox. He is a public affairs analyst, a political analyst, and the former chairman ICANN Lagos and District Societies. My name is Olaoluwa Awe, the News Lady.